I think the powers that be are tired of Joe Biden, frustrated with him, and I think this entire thing is a coordinated effort to get Joe Biden to resign. Well, I guess maybe today we have a little bit of an update on all that. Hunter Biden was indicted today. Okay, first of all, let's talk about what actually happened and what didn't happen. What happened today actually doesn't have anything to do with Joe Biden legally. We'll get to that in a second. Legally. It actually isn't the end of Hunter Biden's legal problems either. You remember that whole deal that Hunter Biden was going to get, right? Before there was a special counsel, David Weiss at the DOJ was still investigating Hunter. And then we found out at 0 hour that he was trying to get a sweetheart plea deal for Hunter Biden. And the judge in Delaware blew up the sweetheart plea deal. Well, part of the sweetheart plea deal that had everyone outraged was the gun charge. You can't lie on the forms when you're buying a gun. I need to stress this. I buy many. It's a felony. It's never even occurred to me to be dishonest on one of those forms because it's black and white, traceable. Look, you can't get out of it. It's you, it's your form, it's your signature. If you knowingly lie on that form, it is a felony. Well, the deal David Weiss had previously with Hunter Biden was, hey, let's, this gun charge, let's just kind of make this go away. Little slap on the wrist type thing. Everyone freaked out about it. Judge blows up the deal. David Weiss, hilariously, gets appointed the special counsel to investigate. The guy who was just trying to run cover for Hunter Biden is now the special counsel who's just going to, in a bipartisan fashion, investigate. Well, now David Weiss isn't a problem, though. Because before, he was trying to hand Hunter Biden that sweetheart deal. Now, everyone's watching. Now, he's in a bind. What is that bind? This man very clearly works on behalf of the Biden family, not against the Biden family, on behalf of them. But there is no walk away from this scot-free now from the Biden family. There just is not. The family's too criminal. There's too much out there. They can't possibly walk free. David Weiss now has to try to give the Biden family as soft a landing as humanly possible. So he brought gun charges today, 3 of them on Hunter Biden. One of them, hilariously, is that he lied on the form about being hooked on drugs when he bought the gun. Anyway, there are more crimes he committed, many. Tax crimes, he's probably going to get charged on those too. That just wasn't part of what happened today. Now, what are all the implications of this? What are we looking at here? Well, the system, they're going to use this to jettison Joe Biden from office. The system, they read the same polls you read. They do. They know that even Democrats are unhappy with Joe Biden. They think he's too old. The vast majority of Americans think he's corrupt, and they think he's too old. They know the country's kind of done with Joe. And while Joe has been a very faithful servant of the system is aware that he's probably becoming a problem. So instead of doing what they normally would do, remember, the system only exists to protect itself. So normally the system would simply lock shields and try to run cover for Joe Biden. They're not necessarily doing that right now. Quite the opposite, actually. Corinne Diversity hires being jumped about it at press conferences.
So I'm going to refer you to my colleagues over at the counsel's office on any specifics to the inquiry. No evidence, none, that he did anything wrong. I mean, that is what we've heard over and over again from their almost year-long investigation, and that's because the president didn't do anything wrong.
Karine, can you describe how President Biden reacted to the impeachment decision by the?
I don't have anything to share about the president's reaction to this. And with that, folks.
Can you explain why the president interacted with so many of his son's foreign business associates? More than half of voters told CNN they believe the president was involved and he lied. You can't have a response to that, Karine?
Multiple reporters coming for him. Oh, but wait. This is how you can tell the dam is officially cracking. The system is not doing what it normally would do, locking shields. Instead, it looks like they're offering him up as a sacrifice. How do I know? What's telling me this? It's not just to support the theory that I've had for the longest time that the system's going to bounce him. I know because of the New York Times and the Washington Post. Now, it doesn't matter how much you hate the New York Times or the Washington Post. I promise you this, I'm paraphrasing my buddy Aaron McIntyre here. I promise you this, you don't hate them enough. The New York Times and the Washington Post are not only two of the most read publications in this country, they are communist rags who have been trying to burn this country down for decades. They should have already both been shuttered. These are evil communist organizations, and both of them, in about the last 15 minutes, have op-eds out saying Joe Biden's too old. Of course, they're trying to give him the soft landing too, right? Oh, he's been very successful, of course, but he's too old. Uh-oh. Oh, but there's more. Even Joe Biden's paid liars like John Kirby, they're not even running cover for Joe anymore with some of the dumb things he says.
John, in the past couple of weeks, the president has lied about being at Ground Zero the day after the September 11th attacks, falsely claimed he saw the Pittsburgh Bridge collapse, claimed his grandfather died in the hospital days before his birth. What is going on with the president? Is he just believing things that didn't happen did happen, or is he just randomly making stuff up?
The president was deeply touched and honored to be able to spend 9/11 with military members there in Alaska and some families.
Yeah, deeply touched. Couldn't even defend it. How bad is it out there? I'm telling you, the system is serving this guy up. Grandma Vodka's on CNN being asked about it.
Do you think there's any chance he does not continue running?
I hope not. I hope not. I mean, this president...
David Ignatius recently came out saying he thinks the former president should not run.
Yeah, so that's one.
Not very definitive there, but she was not the nicest, not the most supportive, I guess I should say, when she was asked about the possibility of Dome stepping in. Do keep in mind that Nancy Pelosi and Dome are from the same state.
President Kamala Harris the best running mate for this president?
He thinks so, and that's what matters. And by the way,
Do you think so?
She's very politically astute.
Do you think she is the best running mate, though?
She's the vice president of the United States. So when people say to me, well, why isn't she doing this or that? I said, because she's the vice president. That's the job description. You don't do that much. You're a source of strength, inspiration, intellectual resource, and the rest. I think she's represented our country very well at home and abroad.
Women are so terrible to each other with those subtle little digs when she wants to be. Did you hear what she threw it in there? I don't do that much. All right, all that may have made you uncomfortable, but I am right. I have great news. If you enjoyed that, I have a YouTube channel you can subscribe to. Whatever I do, it'll be right there on YouTube, so go subscribe today.